Melly versus Ki. Oh, that's big. I'm wondering, you talking about beef? Nah. Who is the bigger drill, person in the culture? Who had the biggest impact in the culture? I find that a hard topic because those two are the biggest people in the culture that didn't really release music. Um, and these are important conversations too, because I think people tend to forget a lot about what went on in this culture. It's a lot of people monetizing and benefiting off the culture. They don't know the culture, so I think this is a good conversation and a good question, because I thought it was like a battle question. I be getting, I'm doing this thing on my Instagram where people can send me questions and shit. Y'all got to follow me on Truth Teller TV on Instagram. And that was a question that I was sent and I want to share with y'all because I think that was very dope. Uh, in my opinion, I think, those are two of the biggest guys in the culture to not drop music. Like I tell you, they got documentaries with millions of views, but it's no beat. It's nobody rapping. It's none of that shit. You don't hear no. It's none of that shit on this shit. It's just strictly people talking about the culture, showing old clips of them, old videos of them. People are intrigued with them. But I'm going to have to pick K.I., in my opinion. I think Melly was big, though. Don't get me wrong. Melly got a documentary with damn near almost 2 million views. And it's just videos of him and shit like that. So he was huge. And I think he one of the guys that a lot of people know that a lot of people might not know. If you're in Chicago, you know him. You in other places, you know him. But if you're in other places, you might have not knew. The same with K.I., but I just think K.I. impact was real big because she was a female, which make her way more marketable on the blog sites and the vlog sites, When the drill first popped off, Lil J was doing 10 million views a video, and he had her in the videos. He was yelling her name out in the videos. That made her look real big. She was more marketable on the blog sites than, anybody else. She was a girl. It's kind of like a talent show. You can be the best rapper in the world, but if a little kid get up there and sing and can sing just a little bit, you're going to lose. Because when she said, the whole crowd gonna be you. It's just the look, it's more marketable. So I think K.I. was way bigger as far as on the marketability. And I know it might sound crazy, this deaf, and I ain't trying to say it like that. What I'm saying is I just believe, her name grew bigger to allure her. It's rumors about her being a mass murderer. She had documentaries. Her story has been documented in Chicago Sun-Times newspaper. That's a real newspaper. That's not a blog site. She done been documented. Her story done been covered on a lot of things like that, So have Melly. But Melly was one of those guys who really well known in the streets, K.I. then kind of crossed into the internet media world, sort of how Melly did. But you can tell Melly had that impact because a lot of people don't realize, even though he was like Lil Durk Op, he was still cool with like people like G Herbo. I don't know if they still had the relationship, but you see pictures of him with like G Herbo. He from the Calumet buildings. It's people who don't like Melly that said good things about him. As far as like he was really like that, So in my opinion, I'm gonna say I believe K.I. Name had a bigger impact in the culture. Now, you mean impact as far as what they did in the culture, they wasn't really artists. So, I can't really say that. But as far as like who name was bigger, who name is bigger right now, whose story more people might know about and shit like that, I'm going to say K.I. It's things that help that intrigueness because Keith, out of all the guys, Lil J was like really the only one that Keith was really responding to. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really responding to nobody else. He was throwing shots at Lil J under the table and people had to notice it. His first rhyme that really went big was the 300. He named Tuka Gang in there. He named Tuka Gang because, evidently he must did, know of St. Lawrence guys around there, 63rd guys and shit, So, in my opinion, I'm going to say K.I. But I'm going to throw a loophole in here. I'm going to throw a ratchet in here, right? I think Tuka might be the biggest person in the drill culture to never ever rap. I think his impact in the culture was bigger than both of those guys, in my opinion. And that lady, in my opinion, because his name is crossed into superstar rap names. And all kind of things like that. I think Tuka will come in one, and then maybe Ki underneath Tuka, you know, and then we'll put Melly, you know. But Tuka name is real big in the culture, and it's no rap songs. It's a lot of people don't even know how Tuka look, you know, but they know that name. But that's my opinion. I'm gonna go Ki for this one. But long live all of them. Long live the homie Melly. You know, interviewing Pre-Boy, interviewing Driller. You know, being around BA and you know seeing these guys. Let me know that I think Melly was a dope guy. I think he probably was a dope individual. You know, you can't believe this internet shit. Now does that mean he wouldn't get up on your ass? You know, if you did something to him, then he wouldn't get on your ass. But I believe he was a dope dude, and I never got the vibe from him that he was a bully, in my opinion. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the homie True.